When I say the word carbohydrates or grains, what comes to mind? I don't know about you, but I think of donuts and white bread and potato chips and pasta and things that aren't so great for me. And carbs over time have gotten just a really bad rap. But are they bad for you? I'm Jessica Stortz with Stortz Wellness Associates, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit today about grains. There are two groups of grains. There are whole grains and there are refined grains. And many of us think of things that are made with refined grains when we think of carbohydrates. But why do we even need these? Well, they're a source of complex carbs. They're high in fiber and B vitamins. They help to reduce cholesterol levels, lower heart disease, obesity, and type 2 diabetes. They also help to improve our bowels and help us to feel full. And they are full of iron, folate, and magnesium. So when I just described it, it doesn't sound so bad, does it? But yet they get a bad rap. So why do they get such a bad rap? Well, a lot of us consume way too many grains and carbs, and we also consume a lot of refined sources instead of whole grain sources. So what makes something refined versus a whole grain source? A refined grain is one that removes the bran and the germ and then leaves behind the white flour, the white bread, and the white rice. Whole grains are things like brown rice, oats, cornmeal, barley, quinoa, bulgur, couscous, lentils, corn kernels, wild rice, and corn, just to name a few. So you might be wondering, okay, that's great, but how many do I need to eat each day? Well, a good rule of thumb is to divide your plate in half and make half of your plate vegetables, and then make a quarter protein and a quarter whole grains. If you're wanting to lose weight, you might need to cut back on the grains and carbohydrates some, but you don't want to be starving, because if you don't fill your body with good whole grains, then you might end up eating a bunch of junk food instead. You also might want to try putting your grain earlier in the day so you have the whole day to burn it off. But also know there are plenty of people that eat a mostly plant-based diet or a completely plant-based diet, which is full of whole grains, beans, and vegetables, and they also lose weight. So know there are many ways to tackle it. But how much is a serving? One slice of bread or a half a cup of grains is a serving. And so some of us might go overboard. Think about how little a half a cup is, and many of us fill our plate probably with 2 to 3 cups of these grains, and that's why we end up over consuming them. So you want to make sure that you're measuring these out for a while if you're trying to lose weight and cut back, because you might be consuming way more than you ever thought. So remember to consume whole grain sources, and also to cut back on how much you eat, and even measure it out, and that will be helpful. But these carbs are actually very helpful to us. They help us stay full, and they help to give us energy. If you have any questions or you found this video helpful, I would love it if you'd share it with your friends, but also contact us for more information.